All right, guys. So finally, Ubisoft is now revealing. I guess it's not Operation North Star. It's just North Star. So now we finally get to take a look at Thunderbird. Let's get into this.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Seltzer, and we're so excited to welcome you to North Star, the second season of Year 6 of Rainbow Six Siege. We have a jam-packed show coming your way, and to kick things off, we've got Chris Waters and the Ubisoft news team to navigate us through what's new in North Star.
North
so there's
Star
her
is the
icon.
next season coming to Rainbow Six Siege, and it'll be bringing the Thunder. The Thunderbird, to be specific. She's the new operator who's dealing out some healing for the defenders, and potentially for the attackers. North Star is also delivering
so it is
numerous
area of
game
effect,
improvements,
okay.
including some notable changes to barrel attachments, plus some balancing tweaks that will make some things easier to see, and others much more difficult. Here's everything you need to know about North Star, playing out on the new casual
Oh my
rework
god,
of
thank
the
you. No
favela
bullet
map.
holes.
Our new operator
So,
is
favela.
Thunderbird, a speedy defender who hails from the Nakota nations of the northern prairies of North America. Armed with the Spear 308 assault rifle outfitted with NATO sights, or the Spas 15 shotgun as her primary, and a sidearm choice of the Q929 pistol.
So if I remember right, that's Finka's assault rifle, and then Cav's shotgun, I think.
Or the Bearing 9, she wields her formidable arsenal in conjunction with her choice of explosives, impact grenades, or a nitro cell, as you prefer. When it comes to her gadget, well, say hello to the Kona station. Once Thunderbird deploys one of these devices and it arms itself, it'll shoot a tasty health nugget to the first operator who enters its radius. If multiple defenders are within range, the one with the
Wow.
lowest health gets the juice. The healing works like a shot from Doc's stim pistol. It will restore lost health and even overheal you, but any health above your max HP will appear as blue in your health bar and slowly dissipate over time. After dispensing a single
I'm not
dose,
sure how I feel
the
about
station
that.
goes on cooldown until the next one is ready. Defenders will see a cooldown timer, while attackers can wait to see a cone of blue light that indicates a charge is ready. And their patience could pay off, because a charged Kona station will heal anyone who enters its radius, not just defenders. Using Thatcher's EMP to temporarily disable a Kona station rather than destroying it could earn an attacker a nice little health boost for a post-plant situation. So it behooves Thunderbird to keep tabs on her Kona station situation. And there's one more thing. A Kona station charge can be used by a down but not out operator to get themselves back on their feet.
That's
the DDNO
interesting.
operator will have to manually trigger the revive, but if used properly and with a little bit of luck, Kona stations can do wonders for defender survivability. Combine one with a deployable shield and Jaeger's ADS to create a tough defensive position. Or hide a couple in key positions around the map to make your roamers even harder to take down. Thunderbird brings a powerful loadout and an empowering gadget to the defending team.
It's kind of funny
but
watching
North
devs
Star
play.
has even more in store. From barrel attachment updates that'll change how some guns perform to operator gadget tweaks for Smoke, Mira, Maestro, and Malusi, there's a lot coming to Rainbow Six Siege this season. We'll leave it to Rachel and the development team to tell you more.
All right, so first thoughts, before they go more in depth on everything, it's interesting. I still think, this is my personal opinion, I still think that the healing station should be something you have to interact with in order to get the heal from. Kind of like how you have to pull the armor plates out of Rook's armor pack. I feel like that's what they should have did with this, because I feel like, I mean, imagine having 3 of those things stacked in one corner, and all 3 of them just fucking boom, 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 and super fucking strong. Now, I do like that attackers can get stemmed from it, because, you know, like they even said, like, you have to be super aware of, like, where they're placed, and be ready just in case an attacker, it's different. It's definitely different. I was kind of hoping we get some new weapons, but I heard that maybe Ubisoft just hasn't been able to license any new weapons. That could be the case. I was like I said, I was hoping for some new weapons, but let's keep going.
Thanks, Chris. North Star is bringing some great changes to Siege. So let's start with Favela, a map that had a lot of character and a lot of ways for attackers to kill defenders. For this casual rework, the level design team completely redesigned the floor plan and most of the very destructible exterior walls. Here's level designer Joseph Renee to welcome you to the new Favela.
So I'm gonna go ahead and skip through this because this is a casual rework. If this was a ranked rework, then I'd probably watch the whole thing. But let's be honest, most of us play unranked and ranked. At least here on this channel, that's what we do. So we'll go ahead and kind of scrub through this part.
Thunderbird is the new operator coming in North Star. She hails from the prairies of North America and brings some extra healing power to the defending team.
She's
Writer
Canadian,
Elisa
isn't she?
Saliba and game designer Dominic Clement are here to tell you more.
Thunderbird.
So when we worked on Thunderbird and our gadgets, we kind of explored a sort of war gameplay. So when I say war gameplay is a station or a gadget that you deploy and it becomes like an area of interest for the defenders and even for the attackers. But we really wanted to have a gadget that was sort of a secondary objective, something that the attackers would have to kind of focus on to destroy because we wanted something that could be stronger the longer it existed in a round. These turrets are very intelligent. They have their own little personality. You're gonna see it when you play the operator. They have a 2-meter radius, and if anyone walks within this 2-meter radius, the turret is gonna scan them and determine if they need a healing or not. So they're gonna look around and try to see if anyone needs some help. So the gadget can be used in mainly like 2 major ways. You can put the station directly inside the objective and use them as like a safe area that you can fall back to and get healed and then go back into the more dangerous areas. You can also use the gadget in choke points. So imagine you're
one good place that I can think of just on like some of the ranked maps, like Newbridge on Canal. Set up a deployable shield over there in ADS and then one of these, and yeah, you could pretty much hold Newbridge the entire time, as long as you're hitting your shots and you don't get bipped. But yeah, that's definitely one place I can think of.
And bunker, you have a smoke. You can put a station right there, so your smoke is going to really like that because you're going to be able to get healed and survive a bit longer there. But you can place them at areas that are really like high intensity, high danger, and it's going to help people survive a bit longer. What's interesting about this gadget is it doesn't discriminate. If you're an attacker and you're within the range, you're also going to get healed. Obviously, there's a prioritization on the turret, so if for any reason you have a defender and an attacker at the same area within the range, the defender is going to be healed first.
Okay, so like attackers can't steal the heal.
Within the radius of the turret or close to it, and you crawl up to it, you will receive a charge also, and you're going to have the possibility to revive yourself whenever you want. So it's not instant. You're going to get the charge, you're going to receive the pellet, and you're going to be able to maybe crawl to somewhere a bit safer and rest yourself. You can do it with the attackers and defenders. So if an attacker goes down next to one, he's going to be able to pick himself up. Any utility clear will be able to deal with the gadget. It's vulnerable to bullets, vulnerable to explosions. Your typical, IQ, Twitch, Flores, and Thatcher. With the EMP grenade, you can disable the gadget. And let's say you have someone playing on the gadget behind a deployable shield, and you really have to push this operator and get it out of the way. You can throw an EMP grenade, disable the turret, and then push whoever's playing on the turret, and you now have a gadget that you can use for yourself. So the gadget will come back online, and you can use it to heal yourself. So primary weapon, she has the Spear 308, which is Finka's AR. It's a very good gun. It's a low fire rate, but a very powerful gun. She also has the Spas 15, which is the auto shotgun that you can find on Caveira. Secondary weapon, she has the Bearing 9, which did receive a small recoil buff. So I think Habana players were going to appreciate that. She also has the Q929 pistol. Clearly, with the kit we gave her, we expect people to play her as a roamer, but she can very well be a very strong anchor also. With her very good gun, she can be an aggressive anchor player. She can get engagement and get back to her earlying station and get healed. She's going to work well with, obviously, deployable shields. If you have a deployable shield, you can play behind the shield with the station, get the heal. Thunderbird is strong against take damage operator. When I say take damage, I mean like Capital with this firebolt. If you have a Kono station next to you and you get a firebolt to the face, you're going to be able to probably survive a bit longer and potentially even survive the fire. That's something that in the game hasn't been super present, which is healing and people healing each other. I'm a Duck main, have almost 100 hours on Duck, and I have to admit, I don't use my heal always on my teammate. I usually use it on myself.
Typical
so
Duck
to have
main.
an operator right now that can really focus on healing your team and making sure that they can survive till the end of the round is something that new and something that I think new players are going to appreciate, especially if they impact themselves at the beginning of the round, which is something I've done plenty of time.
Okay, so here's some of the features that we've been waiting for, to hear about.
The gadget from Melusi, it's really hard to get around it. Operators have to have a pretty specific loadout to get rid of
Dude,
it
you are
easily.
really
Something
close
with
to your
explosives,
camera.
Let's say a grenade or a gun 6, that will help you to get rid of it. But if you don't have those, you have to get into the detection area and risk to do a melee on it. So it's pretty dangerous. At the same time, it's super strong because it has both a slow effect on you and also it's giving intels to the defenders that you are around the area. So in general, it's a pretty strong device. What we've done is that the gadget now is deployed close and it will open only when the attackers are entering the detection area. Once it's open, attackers will be able to deal with it either with bullets or a melee hit. We also kept the gadget vulnerable to explosives, so you can get rid of it in the old way, but now you have more tools. We think that the Banshees will need to be deployed by Melusi more carefully, because you don't want players to have direct line of sight with them. You want them to get surprised by the Banshees, similarly to how we play.
I can't tell. Is it just one bullet is going to take them out, or is it going to be like Frost Mats where it takes a couple hits?
Proximity alarms, for example, and also for attackers, you'll have more options to deal with it.
10 seconds
Both Mira and Maestro have two gadgets that are very strong in one of the key aspects of Rainbow Six, that is the intel. Both help you to control pretty wide areas, either with the Mira on a specific wall or a Maestro at the end of a room. So they bring a lot of intel and they are pretty strong with that. We're introducing a new mechanic that is called Shatter Glass that will allow players to...
What? Okay, hang on. These windows are supposed to be able to stop bullets. So why is one melee hit gonna shatter the whole thing? Look, I get that these mirrors are super fucking strong and, can really dictate, what happens in a round. But at the same time, you got to have some type of, progression to this kind of stuff. And not, this entire, whiteout texture, which, first off, this texture is disgusting. It looks like a fucking Minecraft texture all over it. The best thing I could off the top of my head is have it like Monty's shield, the bullets hitting it and it's cracking and cracking and cracking. Do that to this. So eventually, yeah, you can't see out of it and you're gonna have to drop the mirror anyways. This, I'm not a fan of this. It's pretty dumb.
To get close to these gadgets, use their melee against their glasses, and shatter them. Our objective here was to allow the attackers to have more tools to get rid of these gadgets, so they are not that dependent on their load that they're carrying. When they get shattered, they obstruct the view from the other side, either
Obstructed.
the observation
It's
tool, or in the
it
case of the
fucks your
mira, from
entire
the other
view.
side of the wall. For Maestro, you can shatter
Again,
the
like that.
small doors he has.
So
and that
hang
will
on.
make them
Rewind it a little bit.
carrying, or in the case of the mira, from the other side of the wall. For Maestro,
Okay, so like with this too, you know, if you melee it, I understand it's a smaller piece of glass and shit like that, but still allow us to still be able to see through the cracks. No glass breaks like this, and I replace auto glass windshields every day. Like, I know how glass works. Like, this is gross. I get that the Maestro cams and the Mira windows are super strong and tough to deal with, but there's better ways to balance it without them becoming entirely useless super easily. You know what I mean? I'm not happy about this.
you can shatter the small doors he has, and that will make the Maestro unable to see when the doors are closed. He'll need to open them, and once they're open, he can shoot as always and also gather intel. And for the VP cameras, it's more of the same. You can get close to the camera, melee the glass, and the glass will break. And the
Again, bulletproof camera means bulletproof, cannot shoot. And one melee with a buttstock is going to shatter the whole piece of glass. It's like all of a sudden, all the bulletproof glass is just tempered. Just tempered glass. It's fine.
operators on the observation tools, they won't be able to see anything. Once they are break, they won't be able to use the red or yellow ping. All the sound feed will remain connected, so you don't see, but you can hear what's going on, which is also an interesting piece. We think that this change is not going to radically affect these gadgets. What we're doing here is giving more...
No, it's not going to radically affect these gadgets. It's just going to render them completely fucking useless.
Options to the players. If they find themselves in a situation where they are close to a mira or close to a maestro and they are without explosives in them, they could use the melee to shatter the glasses, and they will gain that advantage. Really, the new smoke doesn't look that different. We've created a new VFX and a new sound effects. I think we've achieved to make it easier to understand where the limit of it is. But yeah, it's not that different. We also made some changes in the damage. So in the past, the damage was decreasing while you were inside the smoke area. But the new damage is going to remain stable during all the time when you are inside. Currently, depending on how the canister is placed, the cylinder will deploy in weird ways sometimes, making the gas get through the walls or even the floors and ceilings. Sometimes
okay, so it allows the smoke to like spill out of open doors,
and even some
busted like ceilings, so it can like go up into the floor above a little bit,
with this
which is how smoke behaves.
Strategy, let's say.
So that makes sense.
So we've included a new propagation system that is based on the current fire propagation system. What it basically does is that it avoids all the time to get through walls, and what the smoke does now is that it tries to propagate through the holes he found. So if you threw it next to a window, it might propagate depending on the exact position, but it will propagate through the window or get through the door in a similar fashion to how fire propagates.
North Star will also introduce a few updates to help make sure you see what you need to see when you need to see it. For details on some visual changes to bullet holes and eliminated operators, here are user experience designer Sebastian Francois and game designer Mathieu Lacombe.
We've all done this. You enter a room that was drawn and suddenly you die to a wall. Yeah, we're tackling the bullet holes. Today we have people shooting a small 9mm in a wall and then try to peek through it. We're tackling this topic to make it more fair on both sides. You will never be able to see from a single bullet hole. So if you
like
drone
that.
the room, you know that
The amount of times I have been like just dunked on because of that, like, this makes me happy because it's such a, yeah, it always made me mad. Punch holes I get, but bullet holes, it's a bit of a stretch.
anyone looking you through a peephole or something like that. No. The crumble system doesn't change at all. If you put 3 bullets with a DMR in a wall, it will still destroy the same way. If you're using the shotgun or CSRX to create some destruction, they will work.
So they're not changing like the
issue
destruction.
now with the corpse is that they won't be replicated the same way for all the players.
What?
So sometimes line of sight will be available to you, but it won't be available for another one. So that will lead into like very unfair situations where you're going to take decisions that
So
maybe
the
were not
bodies
best
disappear?
ones just because of the replication of the body. So the way it's going to work now is that when an operator dies, the body will fall, and just a few seconds later, an icon will appear. So it's going to be a semi-transparent icon because we want you to just have the same amount of intel without the frustration and issues that comes with an actual body.
So I can see that helping with lower spec PCs, so they don't have to render corpses. You know, there's a couple games where, yeah, that's a huge problem. Siege, not so much. Maybe if like you're doing a T-hunt, I could see that being a problem, but I don't know. This kind of takes that tactic, that like strat away from like hiding inside of a body, or like laying like if like 3 people died in a hallway, you just like going prone and like laying next to a dead body to kind of look like one of them, and then when the guy comes around, just shoot him. So yeah, this is gonna take that capability away, but I don't really see this as like a huge thing.
So another benefit of the icon will also make it much easier for you to know who died, because we know that sometimes with the skins that we release, not necessarily easy, and also just the way the body falls. So yeah, the icon will also give you like more a more precise intel. Might make the game look a bit less realistic, but for us the main goal with that is competitive integrity. It's something we are striving for. We know it's been an issue for a while, like this particular issue. We've seen it recently, but we.
I don't
really
see how
and we think
knowing a dead ops. Okay, so I don't understand how knowing the identity of a dead operator is going to help with, you know, competitive. Because, I mean, once that person's off the board, they're off the board. They're not in play anymore, so you don't need to worry about... I mean, maybe, like, cap cans, but at the same time, most of the time you find those cap cans during the prep phase anyways. I don't know. So far, they're making some really weird decisions.
Another commitment we made at the Future of Siege reveal was to refine core gameplay elements like the health and armor system, the way barrel attachments work, and the death experience. Let's go again to Seb and Matt to discuss these changes.
So regarding the armor system, currently the armor system is based on damage modifiers. And we already have a lot of damage modifiers in the game, like with limb penetration, wall penetration, drop-off damage over distance. So there's already a lot regarding damage modifiers, so the armor system in there makes it really hard for you to know what is the impact of the system. It feels like sometimes picking a 3 armor, you just feel like you're picking a slower operator and don't really know what is the advantage of picking that operator. So we want to improve that and make the system much clearer. We're just going to be converting armor to health. So that means that a 1 armor operator will still have 100 HP, but then a 2 armor operator will have 110 HP, and then a 3 armor operator will have 125 HP. So obviously with the change, Rook needed a change too, like a slight change. So now Rook will provide like an extra 20 HP to his teammates. The intent of the change is just to make it much more tangible for you to know what armor means in the game. So now it's health. And also,
Okay.
we want you to be able to tell at any given time how
Okay,
much
so instead
health you
of
have left.
converting,
So that should
okay.
help you take better decisions also. Should you engage in that fight or not? So we want to also give you more information. So we took the opportunity of changing health also to change Finca. Finca currently is kind of an exception because you just have a temporary boost to your health. So we wanted to remove that and just make it like a regular heal.
It's been a while since we touched the muzzle attachments.
Weird.
Those are receiving some changes, so they are more clear to the players. When you equip one of them, you will have a better time understanding what they do. Because currently, well, you ask your friends, you ask someone on Twitch what they use, but we want to make sure that the players have the choice and they know the variety of stuff they do to a weapon. Compensator is mostly changing to really only affect the left and right recoil. So if you're a big fan of the Scorpion but you're missing your shots, that could be a good idea to equip the Compensator on. If you have a hard time with left and right recoil, this is the attachment you want to use now. For the flash hider, now it's only affecting the hop time. So this means that if a gun kicks too high too quickly for you, you will be looking at the flash hider. So this leaves us with three.
That's a good news for you Jaeger
mans. You have the muzzle
mans.
brake that recenters your shot more quickly, the flash hider that helps you not go too high too fast.
Yeah, so that was one of the biggest nerfs to Jaeger's assault rifle, but now you could probably just put that flash hider on and it's probably just gonna help level it out.
And the
compensator just feels like it's fucking useless now.
That helps you with the left and right movement. And we are not changing the VFX or the fire that comes out of the barrel. Everything will be feelable. I mean, you will equip this one over the other one and you will notice a difference. That's the goal.
So what we wanted to achieve with the new death sequence is making it much easier to understand for you how you died. That's something very, very important in Siege because many things can happen. You can get shot through a wall, you can die to a gadget that you never saw. So it's really, really important. And we also want to keep you in the action, not break the flow. Like you died, it's okay, go into your observation tools and give callouts to your teammates. So the first thing that happens when you die, the camera will go out of your operator's body and it will be focusing on whatever killed you. So it can be an operator, a gadget, that's going to be the first phase. The second phase is the replay phase. So now there's not a lot of changes to that. It's just going to be the replay showing you how you died.
Okay,
so you won't be
far
stuck
it's the same.
in the death sequence as you were before. You will be able to skip all the phases before. So you will be able to go as fast as you want into the support phase. One of the intentions of reworking the death sequence was to also keep you in the action. And that makes total sense also with the gameplay after death that we are trying to introduce currently on the TS.
Wait, what?
So the idea is just you died, it's okay. Now you just transition as fast as you can into your observation tools and keep playing.
Hang on,
keep helping your team.
Are we controlling drones after death?
One of the biggest updates in the works for Siege is Gameplay After Death, which introduces the ability to control drones and gadgets after you die. This is still in development and is not launching with Northstar, but we are bringing it to the test server, and we want your feedback. To tell you more about one of the most impactful features for the future of Siege, please welcome Game Director Aurélie Debont.
Curious as to how this is gonna work.
I think the test server, it's the environment for the player to experiment the feature and to give feedback on this feature. And this will be very helpful for the team to adapt and readjust. In attack side and defender side, we have added some gameplay elements, so for players, after their operators are dead. For attack side, dead players can control and move their own drone. So, and just to be clear, you cannot control the drones of another player.
Okay,
also,
so no teammate drones, just your drone.
Some feedbacks. When the owner dies, automatically on the regular drones, and it's only on regular drones, antennas are deployed on the drones. So player can know if the drone is controlled by a dead player or by an alive player. The ability of the observation tools can be used. So that means a dead player who plays 0, for example, can use the laser from the Argus camera. On Defender side, Echo, Maestro and Modi can control and use their ability after death. Also, we have added some new tools to counter attacker trons. So we have reworked the bulletproof camera. So now you can rotate the camera and shoot
which
an
I thought
antidote,
was
to disable.
I thought it was kind of dumb that we couldn't do in the first place.
The first player inside the camera can use the ability to shoot. So there is no notion of ownership as we have with main abilities because it's a secondary gadget. So this will help defenders to
So we can stun
deny
drones now?
by disabling them. We have added the drone counter. So the drone counter is only displayed for defenders to help them to track the number of regular drones their team has destroyed or captured. So this is to encourage defenders to be aware of the importance of destroying drones, especially in the context where dead players can focus on droning them out. So I'm very excited by this new feature because you can still have an impact on the outcome of the round. Even after your death, you can still help your team. We are aware that gameplay after death will affect the whole game balance, especially for operators whose abilities revolve around observational tools. And we have started to work on this. So, for example, the fact now you can shatter the glass of the Maestro turret with a melee to deny the
that's so
vision
dumb.
is a good example. And we have also some other plane, like we are working to explore a new secondary gadget around deny information, for example. And the most important aspect we want to be sure before releasing this feature that it's never a valid strategy to take careless fights early in the round and not care about dying. So even if the change means that dying will be a bit less punishing than it's been before, but we still want it to be very punishing. But as you know, balance a live game is without end, and this evolves constantly.
Thank you all for watching our reveal of North Star.
Okay.
The test server will be going live on Tuesday, May 25th, and we hope to see you there. Now, for one last reveal, a realistic Habana figurine inspired by the game. This highly detailed
Holy
figurine
shit.
comes with a unique code to unlock an exclusive weapon skin and is now available for pre-order. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the test server.
Okay, so let's just kind of go over everything right now. So Thunderbird, she seems like a pretty good operator, okay? But I still think she needs to... You need blah. But I still think you should have to interact with the... I already forgot the name of the device, but the healing drones, I feel like you should have to interact with them in order to get the stim. Because a passive healing like that, it's... I don't know, I feel like it might be a little too strong. She kind of feels like a lifeline variant, if you know what I mean, but with the ability for the attackers to also get the heal, which I mean it's the same thing with like Rook, with the Rook plates. If the attackers get into sight, they find there's still Rook plates in there, they can pick it up, put it in, and go about their business with that buff. So I'm not against it still being beneficial for attackers, but the whole like area of effect, like, granted it's only 2 meters, so it's not that bad, but I don't know, I think it might be a little too strong and it might get nerfed. The favela rework, I mean, it's a casual rework, I don't really care. I mean, I skipped through it. I really wish that we were getting something for ranked, either a map rework or maybe take out Skyscraper and put in a new map that has been reworked. I don't know. The barrel attachments, I feel were kind of unnecessary because now the Compensator just feels like it's completely useless, at least for PC players. If you're a PC player, left and right recoil shouldn't be too big of an issue for you. But at least they're kind of doing the due diligence as far as like making the attachments, like what they do, a bit more clear. And the flash hider is basically negating, in theory and on paper, negating the Jaeger nerf. So, I mean, if you're a Jaeger main, this might be good news for you, because you'll be able to just put a flash hider on there and you'll be fine. Now, the glass shattering, I am not happy about. The fact that it's like a generic texture that just covers the entire glass, which, again, being a guy that works in the auto glass industry and knows how glass breaks, I feel like that's kind of dumb. Glass does get cloudy, you know, and I've seen bulletproof glass break too, so I know what it looks like when it breaks. But I feel like they should have, like what I said earlier, is kind of go through a progression of, you know, or degradation. You know, like the more bullets that hit it or the more melees that it takes should, you know, increase, make it really hard to see till it gets to the point where, yeah, you have to drop the Mira if that's what you want to do. Because sometimes, you know, dropping a Mira, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you can shoot through it, but so can the attackers. The Maestro cams, I mean, yeah, one melee should be able to kind of fuck whatever you can see, but I still think you should be able to see around the cracks and stuff like that. Because when they were saying, like, I know it's not releasing with this, but at the same time, like, say, like, we do die and we can control these Maestro cams, probably not shoot them, but, you know, if we're able to open the doors in order to see, we're basically removing that Maestro cam out of play. The dead bodies disappearing, again, I don't see that as a quality of life improvement. Like, if you have to I think you have to have a really bad PC in order for that to actually, like, really affect performance. And like I said, it could be a way to counter hiding inside dead bodies or next to dead bodies to, you know, basically camp some stairs or camp the diffuser. So I could see that being a thing. But also having, like, the icon of the operator that died there in order to give you information of, hey, that's the operator that died. I don't see that being as a big thing to give you, what's the word I'm looking for, pertinent intel. Because if I'm an attacker and I see that there's, you know, a little Capcan notification like, hey, Capcan died here, that's not going to benefit me, because I already know there's a Capcan because we droned out this area. We know that there's Capcan traps. So I'm really trying hard to think of an operator like that would actually benefit knowing. Like, yeah, maybe if Cav dies, it would be nice to know that Cav died, but most of the time, if you're good at droning, you end up spotting her and then her little icon gets X'd out when she dies. Or if you're working with a good team that actually knows how to talk to each other, they'll say, you know, you'll hear a gunshot and they go, that's Cav, or that's Capcan. Cav's dead. So, yeah. So maybe that could benefit teams that aren't using comms, but that's all I can really think of. And again, this is coming from my perspective as a guy that's not new to the game, but is new-ish to kind of like the competitive scene. Being able to drone after death, I feel like, is a little too strong. I feel like I like that it's only your drones and not teammates' drones, but being able to, like, drive around and stuff, I feel like that's gonna be way too strong. It's gonna break a lot of things. So the bulletproof camera, being able to, like, move it and, like, actually being able to move it around, that is something that I feel like should have been with that camera, like, from the start. Being able to zap drones, that's pretty cool. I like that. Eliminating bullet hole peaks, thank fucking God. Like, oh my, I can't tell you how much I hate bullet hole peaks, because there'll be times where I'll drone, like, consulate when we're trying to attack the basement. You know, I'll drone from behind the white van, see nobody there. I'll even hop up on the loading dock, look left, nobody's there. There's no rotates, no punch holes. So, and if I do see bullet holes, most of the time I just kind of see that as like textures. So, and then I'll come through the door, I'll go to round the white van and try to hold an angle on the doors, just in case somebody runs out, and then just die immediately, which I got plenty of footage of me doing that. So I like that they're finally taking that away, but I also love that they're not changing the destructibility for the environment. All that's still the same. It's just keeping those bullet hole peaks away, which I feel like it has been way too strong, and I feel like they waited way too long in order to address it and fix it. Other than that, guys, I'm actually still kind of fairly excited for this season. I really hope they take, everybody's feedback into account on the mirrors, the glass mechanics. But other than that, guys, it's more content. At least it's going to change the dynamic and change the meta. Mira might not get banned as much now. So I don't know, guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys feel like this season's going to bring. I don't think Thunderbird's going to be OP, but I feel like the drones need to be reworked a little bit. But as far as like her weapons and stuff, I mean, they're recycled weapons. I was really hoping we get some new ones, but it is what it is. But alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you guys like this video, please slap that like button, and if you're brand new here, please consider subscribing. It's free. But for me, that's my time. I have to get out of here. Have a great rest of your day. Set goals, crush them. I am out. Peace.